What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining me today on this beautiful day. I hope your day was fulfilled with nothing but positivity and good vibes. All my new viewers joining us for the first time, welcome, and thank you so much for joining along and for giving me a chance. It truly means the world. Let's go ahead and jump right into this highly requested video because this ain't good. This ain't too good. No, this ain't good. So today we'll be reacting to U.S. travel risks. Now, it's not too much context behind this title, but let's jump right into this. I'm pretty sure this is about Canadians being detained by ICE unfairly, falsely prosecuted and stuff like that, and being falsely detained and held. And I know how it is. We've been checking this out for some time, guys.
A growing number of Canadians.
Growing number? Are they targeting y'all, or is there reasons behind this?
Canadians in the United States, including children, are being detained by...
Yo, we did react to that video. They detained her and her baby, her toddler. Oh my gosh, it's like they don't care. And ICE, with a lot of things going on with ICE right now, they really haven't been, saving themselves. And I know some things that, that's been going on with them. I'm not really going to speak on that, but just everything going on, the drama, the controversy. It's not a good look on them, man. Despite how the situations play out.
U.S. immigration authorities. Recent U.S. government data shows more than 200 Canadians have spent time
What the 200?
in ICE custody since January, marking a sharp increase to the estimate.
Since January? This was 2025. We in a whole new year now. You mean to tell me they still detained a year later?
130 Canadians held in 2024. So this comes as the Trump administration doubles down on its immigration policies. Is it safe to travel to the U.S. right now? We're going to get an answer for you for a better understanding of...
Man, you're getting it from an American. Vouch. I'm vouching. You are getting it from an American. Take my word. No. You don't need to come here right now. Especially with everything going around with the borders and this and that and the policies and stuff going on, the stuff they keep changing. I wouldn't even cross the border. And I'm from the country. I'm giving everybody a hard time, even our own people. It's not just y'all. I know it's not just Canadians, so don't feel that you're excluded or you're just singled out for the rest of the world. Anybody can get it at this border. Anybody can get it. It sucks. You cross the border, like I said before, you hold your burner. Don't go with a lot of stuff, that you don't want them seeing, I'm not going to go into detail, but they do go through the phones now and they search through everything. Camera roll. We don't care if you got the little Face ID lock. Unlock it. What you hiding? They might ask you questions about that, You got your partner in there or pictures of yourself, explicit pictures or... We're adults, guys. We are adults. Let's keep it 100. Or you got this in there, or something that you don't want police or stuff like that seeing, people within the organization seeing and stuff like that. Stuff that's meant for you. So you got the social security, you got all your documents and information. You got a lot of stuff, and you don't want them seeing it. There's a lot of things you can hide on the phone. You don't want them seeing it. And they're gonna invade it all, even if they see a password. Yo, unlock this for us. What are you hiding? And I don't like that. People being held wrongfully at the detention centers and stuff. Man, this was in 2025. We're in 2026. They still there?
What you need to know. I'm joined by Sherry Aiken, law professor at Queen's University. Good morning.
Piss me off, bro.
Good morning, Anne-Marie.
This is a shocking number, I think, for a lot of people. I know that you've pointed out in various interviews that it used to be...
My supporters in YouTube, it's just water. It's just water. That's all I drink is water. It's just water.
If your paperwork wasn't in order or there were any immigration questions, they would send you back up to Canada. Now people are being held. What grounds are most Canadians being held for?
Well, the statistics reveal that the vast majority of Canadians in detention are there because of what we would consider to be relatively minor offenses, everything from visa anomalies to impaired driving to property crime. But certainly there are a percentage of Canadians in detention who have a criminal history, in some cases a very long ago criminal history that didn't preclude them from entering the United States.
How does that work as a Canadian citizen having like a record? I know if you have a record, you cannot come in Canada. So what is it like as an actual Canadian citizen? Like, if you live there, you're obviously not prohibited access, right? What is it like?
But has now caught them in a dragnet.
Yeah, the Trump administration has imposed a series of new measures this year. So, in case people aren't following, what specific changes were made to allow for these kind of detentions?
Well, to be honest, it's not an entirely new universe. People were being detained en masse long before President Trump assumed office for this second time. And indeed, immigration detention in the United States has been an ongoing concern. The United States has detained foreign nationals at way higher rates than many other jurisdictions for a vast array of reasons that don't involve public safety or security. So we do need to position this in context. However, things have intensified under President Trump in the extreme. So we are now seeing effectively mass detentions. And indeed, days after President Trump assumed office, he spoke about his commitment to a policy of mass detention and mass deportation. And that's exactly what he's doing. So we're seeing way higher numbers than before. And we're also seeing exactly the opposite of what he said he was going to do when he assumed office, which was, quote unquote, to focus on the worst of the worst. In other words, he said that American policies would focus on people who were serious criminals and serious threats, when in fact the statistics reveal not just for Canadians.
Bro, if you come from a different country, you're a criminal now. You're a terrorist. I'm like, bro, what? Not my words. Not my words. Not Strac's words. Coming from Strac, that's not Strac's words. I don't want nobody to take that out of context or clip it or nothing. Like, man.
Criminals and serious threats, when in fact the statistics reveal not just for Canadians, but the
Even she laughing like, man, I know it's some BS.
Threats, when in fact the statistics reveal not just for Canadians, but the population at large who are detained in U.S. detention facilities. Around 70% of them have no criminal convictions. In other words, they are people who are detained for visa anomalies, things like impaired driving and property crimes, and not violent crimes. Now, the statistics for the Canadians are a little bit higher. They're not exactly parallel to the national average, but they're close enough to raise very serious concerns.
Yeah, and just to put into context some of those visuals that we were just showing, those were both ICE raids and protests that were happening. Most of the infractions for Canadians, so I understand, are because of invalid visas. How were these cases typically handled in the past, and what's happening now?
Yeah.
Indeed.
That's what I'm saying. I've been asking that. Why nobody ever answered that question for me? I've been asking that question and nobody answered that. It slipped my mind. As many questions I had was over this course. Because before, people wasn't being detained and thrown in jail, mistreated, and let me go default. Like it wasn't like that. It was a friendly, mutual, border. We could just cross multiple times throughout the day. It wasn't that serious. Now it is. This is like, my gosh. This is worse than going through customs. And we all hate customs. This is worse than that. This is like forcefully like, yo, this, let me see that. Open this. Unlock that. Okay, unlock the trunk. Let me see this. Okay, open this bag. All right, dump that out. Wait a minute. And I can't say nothing. I can't defend myself. Situations like this, I'm glad I'm not in any situations like this, or it have been in a while, because stuff like this, I ain't letting it slide. I don't care what you is and what you are. ICE been walking around the U.S. like they some type of gang or something, like how the police forces be doing in the city. I'm not digging it. I'm not. And I'd be the wrong person. It'd be the right person, but I'd be the wrong person, The right but wrong person to just try to get over like that for no reason, and just be treated unfairly, because the way they've been moving lately, Nah. I don't like the way they invade the privacy and everything at the borders now. So yeah, I understand the policies and the rules, but yeah, I am American. I know the policies, except I know the policies, I know the rules, but I still may be a little ignorant depending how you coming at me. And no, I'm not unlocking that. It's my banking information. Have you lost your mind? No, I'm not unlocking that. No, I'm not unlocking this. Like, yeah, certain things. Now you lost your mind. Put the cuffs on me, bro. Hey, that deep. I'll come back. Yeah, because you're not gonna get over me like that. It's gonna be in my head the whole trip, and I'm gonna be pissed. And I'm gonna come back to the border, and I'm gonna cause issues regardless. I'm gonna start issues with somebody. It's gonna ruin somebody's day because you ruined mine. That's exactly my first time coming. You gonna ruin it before I even get in the country. When I okay, all right. And what they do is they do it when you get back too. Sometimes they wait for you, like as an ex felon or something. Oh, okay, you gonna enjoy your trip. Wait till you get back. That's how they get you.
Most of the infractions for Canadians, so I understand, are because of invalid visas. How were these cases typically handled in the past, and what's happening now?
Indeed. Those kind of visa anomalies would typically require someone to report for removal and involve effectively self-deportation or voluntary departure. You know, they were not uncommon. Canadian snowbirds overstaying the length of their allowed number of days would receive the paperwork, they would report, and they would
If you stay more than your allowed days, then that's on you. But
voluntarily depart. Now we're seeing those cases treated in a very different manner.
Can you explain that more?
Well, people are, as you know, being arrested and detained, and sometimes for a lengthy period of time. I mean, we know of a case of a Canadian man actually dying in detention.
huh?
There's another.
What? What had? What? Huh? How old was the man? He died in the detention center? Ugh, I'm thinking of so many things. I'm thinking of so many ways to screw over the system if that ever happened. So many ways, yo. I'm talking about we going to court. I'm talking no. Justice need to be served. Y'all gotta like, oh my gosh, there's no way to even get somebody back from that. There's no way to compensate. You throw a price at me, I might want to throw a punch at you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Certain things you can't give them money. Here you go. I'm sorry for, especially if they were wrongfully. Now, if not, it's like but like if they were innocent, oh, let me do some research on that and see. That's crazy.
Case of a woman held for a very long period of time. You know, so we're seeing people held for days, if not weeks or longer. That's
Months,
what's
year.
changed.
And a reminder to people, if you are planning a trip to the U.S., make sure your paperwork is in order. If you are detained, Sherry, quickly remind us of what happens now once you are detained.
Well, you are effectively put in the queue for expedited removal. Depending on how long you were in the United States, you know, you may have access to judicial review or an appeal of that decision. But there's whole categories of people who don't, and that particular law is actually currently under challenge in the United States. In other words, the legal authority for pushing people out of the country very swiftly. But you know, effectively, you're locked up, and the only way to get out is really with legal counsel, and it's very hard to access counsel when you're detained.
Correct. And I believe part of that detention.
So now I gotta spend money on a lawyer because a public attorney can't do much for me in this situation, a public offender. So yeah. Only reason I haven't came to Canada yet, the only reason why I have not come to Canada yet, um, is because of this. And I'm scared. Like my whole life, guys, okay, well, as a kid, I was a troubled child. We got ahead of that. Mature, you grow up. You know, no kidding. Once you get to about junior year of high school, you really start thinking about your life and what you want to do and maturing. That's when it should start. No more to BS. Yeah, that's when it happened. And like, I just all the time, like I always used to think it was me in trouble, hearing the phone ring, hearing the speaker, or a teacher come, or the principal comes to the door for a teacher, and they're just having chit chat. I think it's for me like just that anxiousness, and I don't like that because if I cross this border knowing I'm a good abiding citizen, I feel like if I go to this border, well, yet again, I feel like I'll be fine, but like that feeling though, my heart will be. They have a conversation. Well, how are you? I'm good under pressure though. I'm good. No, be nervous, but like yeah. So why you visiting? Oh, ma'am, I make videos. Oh yeah, 100%. What? I'm running that mouth. Why you visiting, man? Why you here? They know they try to get you with the little quick, talk, ask you questions, ma'am. I dedicate my life to doing content. Countries around the world. Fascinated with the traditions, the culture, the food. What? You want me to keep going? Because I truly am. That's why I'm here. I'll show you proof. I'll show you the channel. Subscribe. Subscribe. We on the road to 20,000. You know what I'm saying? What? Let me in. Let the gate up. Yeah. It's like what? I ain't got nothing to hide.
Very hard to access counsel when you're detained.
Correct. And I believe part of that detention includes removal of your cell phone. So you actually don't have a personal device to be able to reach out to anybody with.
No,
that is
and
up to them.
One of the challenges is that people no longer remember their key phone numbers, right?
Right.
We're all programmed now to just press a contact. So when people don't have their cell phones, they're often stripped of the ability to even use a public telephone in the detention facility to reach out to anybody because they don't know their numbers.
That's a shame. That's your fault. Whose fault is that? You at least got to know, like, oh, wait. Oh, wait. Oh, wait a minute. I only know 2 phone numbers by heart. I only know 2 phone numbers by heart. Unless 911 count as one, but that situation, oh, man. Oh. Well, I don't see myself getting that. I don't see that for my future, my vision. Strac's out of trouble now, baby. We want a better route. We want something positive, influential, motivational now. We're not going through all that stuff. We're not doing all this again. This and that and that. I'm not no ex-convict and none of that, but we're not getting caught up in situations and getting in trouble. No. That's why I only know 2 numbers. I'm like, well, I need to know your number for about heart. If I want to, I'll open the phone. Well, good thing the 2 numbers I know, the 1 number, the good thing, that's a house phone. Never mind, I only know 1 number is a phone number. The other one's a house phone. Don't count. And they cut that off. 1 number I only know, and they answer every single time I call and text. It's every single time I call and text. They answer no matter what. They will answer. They will pick up.
So it is actually a huge problem on a very practical level.
If you are traveling, make sure your paperwork, your I's are dotted and your T's are crossed, or you could just do what Premier Ford is doing and skip travel to the U.S. this holiday season altogether. Sherry, thanks for joining us this morning.
Absolutely.
That's exactly what they're doing.
You're welcome.
If you like that video, make sure to
nobody want nothing to do with us. The business is over. It ruined the relationship. Can't undo this. Please feel free to share your honest thoughts and opinions down below in the comment section, guys. Thank you so much for joining me today. I was so unaware that 200 plus Canadians are actually detained, still are detained, and that one of them actually lost their life in a detention center. Really? What's the story behind that? What's the context around all of that? Please let me know in the comments. Do you guys want me to review some topics pertaining to that, or no? You kind of just educate me in the comments, and you want me to just leave it there and we move on to the next? Because I hate watching videos. I love videos like this, keep us educated, but I just hate it because the situations that people go through. You guys are sitting here watching for my entertainment, but more importantly, my opinion, my honest thoughts. Intellectual thoughts and comments towards these type of topics, of course. And it just sucks though. We're sitting here and we both have to witness these horrifying things going on to people. I'm like, damn, it's a new year, 2026, guys. I'm thinking 2026 Strac grind. It's the best year of your life. And we got people still facing something that they dealt with the year before. They're still incarcerated for no reason, being held here, this and that. And you see your family for Christmas, the ball drop. Like, come on. Sucks. It sucks. It really does, guys. It really does. And I want you guys to know that when we react to videos like this, Like this specifically, it is not for entertainment purposes. Like, oh, let's make this. No, 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 no. It's keep ourselves educated, keep me up to date, and educate the people out there in Canada that may not know about this. And we can, even if you do, we react to it together as a community, as a family. These type of topics are not made for the entertainment. You know, that's not why. I understand I am how I am. That's just how the Lord created me. That's how God made me. I can't change this. But like it ain't like a humor video and stuff like that, guys. So don't think I'm trying to make videos like this for just the views and stuff. Cause this sucks. I could care less how many views this gets. I like to shine light on the people that are going through these situations, make it aware, and actually, open my mind, expand, and see like what people are going through. What times are like, the different policies and stuff. Cause I don't want to be in the same shoes as them. Despite if I did something or not. Because it's like, if you're not educated, most of these people, some of them, the ones that had like, the documents messed up or this or that. So I mean, they could beg to differ that they weren't educated, but like I would just say like they had slip ups. They either didn't have this document or they had the wrong document. So they didn't come fully prepared, and that's why they're in that situation. And they're being treated wrongfully, and that sucks. That's the whole thing about it. You make a mistake, an accident, now they think you up to something. Can't even make a mistake no more. I mean, oh my goodness. So I'm saying like maybe if I what I'm trying to say is like maybe if I come there with the perfect documents and like nothing, like I don't mess anything up, I'll be fine. You know, I'll be fine. I don't see if you have like a criminal record. Why does that matter? As long as you're out and you're good, you're on a clear note, good terms. You did what you did, and it's in the past. You did your time or whatever. You did what you did. What is the issue behind that? I have a lot of questions, guys. The situation sucks. I see, and it's scary because, like I just said, these people, some of them didn't have the right documents and stuff, and that's why they're in this situation. And it's like they didn't do anything wrong, and they just had no control over it. They had no power over it. These people are gonna do what they do and feel how they feel, especially what's going on between the countries now. They're targeting. I feel like they're targeting, and it's like, what can you do? If they was gonna do this from the beginning before they even knew who was in the car, they had it on their mind like, yeah, we about to get down on, what are you gonna do? And that's what I'm saying. You're put in impossible situations where they have too much authority and power, and that's what sucks. So now they're in this situation. I'm not trying to bash them in any type of way either, saying, well, this is why you're in this situation. If I have the right documents, I won't be. Because no, I could come there perfectly fine, and they could think something's up, suspicious or something. Like, oh my gosh, anything, guys. Seriously, and it's scary. It really is scary. All my Canadians, please stay safe. I love each and every single one of you, including all these people detained and stuff. I don't care if you were ex-felon. I don't care if you went to jail, prison, this and that. If you within the system or went to a detention. I don't care about none of that. Or if you brought the wrong documents. We all human at the end of the day. Everybody deserves to be forgiven. Everybody deserves to be forgiven. If everybody didn't deserve to be forgiven in this world, safe to say none of us would be going to heaven. I'm sorry. Well, our afterlife after this isn't so bright then, I guess. Come on. So yeah, just remember that. Keep your faith up, man. Stay strong. Stay safe. Stay safe, man. Keep your faith up for real. If you're watching this and your family members, happen to be going through this process right now, or someone personally that's going through this, or just in general, man. It truly sucks. Definitely keep everybody in my prayers as always, man. Stay safe, everyone. I hope to catch you all in the next one.